Hello my dear YouTube students, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we are going to learn the summary of a class 10 lesson, The Eyes Are Not Here. So within a short duration in few points we are going to sum up the whole chapter, so stay tuned till the end of the video and do not miss any part of it. And yes, if you are watching my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the important videos like this. So let's start the video and today's summary of the chapter. Okay, so but before that, there is a good news for you all, my dear YouTube students, that we have come up with the Scorpio class Hindi channel. And in this channel, you're going to find all the Hindi lessons, explanations, and question and answers videos of class 8, 9, 10 of Karnataka board. So to get the link of the Scorpio class Hindi channel, do visit the description box and subscribe to the channel. For your easiness and comfortness, I'm going to share the link of this channel in the I button so that you can directly go to the link and get the channel. So let's move ahead now and learn about the poet of this chapter and the author of this chapter. The author is Ruskin Bond, and Ruskin Bond is one of the finest storytellers in English in India. He was born in Kausali in 1934. Okay, so he's one of the well-known storytellers. He has written many novels, short stories, and books for children. He was awarded Padma Shri in 1999 for his contributions to children's literature. The Room on the Roof, which he wrote when he was 17. Many of his stories are based on Mussoorie in the foothills of Himalayas where he lives. Okay, so most of the stories are based on the area where he lives, that is Mussoorie. That's a wonderful place, and he always makes his base or the background of his stories as Mussoorie. So this was a brief introduction about the poet. Now let's move ahead towards the story and look at the summary of it. So this is a very enjoyable and interesting story by Ruskin Bond. The narrator is traveling on a train and he is blind and can distinguish only between light and darkness. But he has not been blind from his birth. Okay, so what we come to know here that there is a narrator who's traveling on a train. The narrator of the story is traveling on a train and he is blind and he cannot see anything, just he can distinguish between light and darkness. And this blindness, it's not from his birth, but maybe because of some illness, he has lost his eyesight. Okay, so he has not been blind from his birth. He knew what and how everything looks like. Now a girl comes into the compartment. Now it was clear that her parents had come to see her off as they were giving her instructions as what to do and what not to. Okay, because he couldn't see, but he could make it out. He could hear the voice of the parents. That the girl who has come in the compartment, the parents are instructing her as what to do and what not to do when she is in her on her journey. So from this he makes out. Now the narrator cannot see her, but hears her voice and the sound of her slippers. Okay, how did he make out that there's a girl entering? By hearing her voice and the sound of her slippers while she was walking. Now his regular game is to pretend to be normal sighted and he starts the game with the girl too. So, because he was blind and he wanted to hide it from the other people, from the strangers, so he used to pretend that he is very normal sighted. And this game of pretending to be a normal sighted person, he used to do with everyone whenever he was traveling or whenever he was out. So, same thing he started doing with the girl too. So, what did he do? Let us see. So he opens the conversation by asking where she was going to. Okay, as you go to a when you are traveling through a train, you start conversing with the co-passengers who are there in the compartment. So similarly, he does here. She says that she is getting down at Saharanpur, where her aunt is meeting her. The conversation proceeds in a general manner with both of them making remarks about Mussoorie in October and the scenery outside. Okay, so the conversation goes on. She says that she is going to get down at Saharanpur where her aunt is going to receive her, and the conversation goes on like that, and they start talking about the places and different places and about the Mussoorie, and especially the season and the weather there in the month of October, and the scenery outside, which is just they are passing through. The train is passing through. Now, the narrator tries to please the girl by saying that her face is interesting, and the girl returns the compliment by saying that he is a very gallant young man. Okay, so now, narrator soon he tries to converse, and he just tries to please the girl by saying that she looks so good, so beautiful, her face is interesting, and he says all these things. When he says, the girls also says the same thing. She compliments him in the return, and she says that even he is a very gallant young man. So now you can think here, narrator cannot see her because he's blind, but the girl doesn't know that. So he's trying to please her and he's trying to hide his blindness. And he says that the girl is very good, her face is interesting, and the girl is also giving a return compliment that even he is a young, gallant man. Now, very soon her station arrives and she gets ready to go by wishing him goodbye. Okay, now Saharanpur station comes. She has reached her destination. Now she gets ready to go, and now she is wishing him goodbye because she had a nice conversation, nice co-passenger throughout her journey. Now she is bidding him goodbye and moving away. Now a man enters the compartment. Seeing the narrator serious, he apologized for not being as attractive as the girl who left. Now, when the girl left, the one more man enters the compartment from that station, and when he sees that narrator is a bit serious kind of person from his expression, he apologizes. He says sorry for not being as attractive as the girl who just left now from your compartment. So now the narrator immediately seizes the opportunity and asks him whether her hair was long or short. Okay, this shows that narrator was so curious to know about that girl because actually he was not able to see her, and he just assumed and he just was able to hear her voice, and now he wanted to know actually how she looked and how were her hairs tied upon. So he's asking the stranger now, the man who enters there, that whether her hair was long or short. So the man says that he hadn't noticed not her hairstyle, but her blind eyes. So the man says, I did not notice her hairstyle, but yes, I did notice her blind eyes. Now the narrator gets to know that the girl who just left and whom he was talking to was also blind. Now he asked the narrator whether he hadn't noticed that fact. So that man, he asked the narrator, she was sitting in the same compartment. Didn't you notice that she is blind, or didn't you see her hairs, how she has tied up? It's long or short, or how it is? Now the story ends here at this point. All along, the girl was very clever and smart in her replies to whatever the narrator said. So the story ends here, and the narrator, the poor narrator, he was not able to make out that the girl was also blind, and they had a nice conversation. Now he feels sorry that he couldn't make it out like how the girl was. But the story ends here, and we come to know that the girl was very clever in her reply. She was very smart enough, and whatever the narrator said. So, just like the narrator, even she had never mentioned her blindness, but had spoken in a very general manner to give the impression that she was normal sighted. Okay, so like the narrator was hiding his blindness in the similar manner, even the girl hid her blindness, and she spoke so well in a general manner that she wanted to leave an impression that she is also a normal sighted girl. Now, the narrator had succeeded in hiding his blindness from the girl and the man, but he had also been fooled by the girl. Okay, so here the narrator was successful in playing his game, in pretending that he is normal sighted person, in hiding his blindness. He was success in hiding his blindness from the girl and from the man who has entered now. But at the same point, he had also been fooled by the girl who was also blind and also clever enough. So even she very cleverly fooled the narrator. So the twist at the end makes it a true wonderful story. So this twist of girl also being blind makes the story very wonderful at the end. Okay, so with this few lines and points, we come up to the end of the story. I hope you all understood the summary and the video. If you like the video, do hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe the Scorpio Class Hindi channel and take the fullest benefits. We'll be back soon with more such videos. Till then, stay tuned and take care. Thank you.